The four of us met across the Virginia line there one wet June morning and took off. I had the GPS, so I got to go first. Then Terry waving to the huge crowd. Then TR, we almost missed him. And finally George. At our first stop for food, it was still raining and rained pretty much all day. After 3 days, we finally rolled into New Mexico. After some days with some pretty high wind and very hot, we decided to sleep during the day and travel at night. Not a good idea. Didn't work out very well at all. When we left the motel, it had been 57 degrees. Up in the mountains of New Mexico, it got down to freezing, then came back up to 36. A lot of wind, snow, and rain. After the worst night I've ever spent out on a highway somewhere in the mountains of New Mexico, we finally pulled over in Cuba, New Mexico, got a room and spent the day just drying out and getting warm. With nothing much to do after we got up, we just roamed around the town and took some pictures. George even got some pictures of prairie dogs, which we don't see very often. The natives told us not to worry about it. By 11 o'clock it would be clear. Sure enough, it cleared off and the next day came up, bright, beautiful, and cool. We were on the road again and headed for Four Corner. I was making pretty good time, but had to slow down some to take this picture. I wonder where they got the name for Shiprock, New Mexico. We were sure glad to see this sign. Take a right, and the monument was down on the left. Well, we finally arrived, and I was a little disappointed in it, but it was so far out in the country, I guess it's about the best we could do. There's all four of us, each standing in a different state. TR was making a phone call from all four states. Wonder how they billed him. Of course, Terry had to stand in all four states at one time. Old George was getting pictures of all the state seals. Here it is, the only spot in the United States where 4 states and 2 Indian nations come together. I guess it was kind of a cool place after all. I just sit down and was taking it all in. The monument is totally surrounded by Indians selling their various wares. Well, it was time to get everything packed up and head out for Grand Canyon.